Hello, Mr. Dowse here. In this video we're going to look at task 21 extension 1 for the for loop, and what I asked you to do this time was allow the user to enter the times table they wanted to see, create a loop that would generate all the times tables for that number from 1 to 12 and output it in this format. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, etc, etc, etc. So how would we go about this? Well, the first thing that we need to do obviously is we need to get an input from the user. So if I had a variable called num, for example, because that's what I want them to enter, a num, and I could say equals int input, and then I would say please enter the times table you wish to see, for example, and then I close my first bracket, and then I must close my second bracket, and hopefully the user will enter a number of the times table they want to see. Because we're taking it from the keyboard, it's going to come in as a string. We need it to be an integer. So we've turned it into an integer and we've stored it in num. So that's the first step done. That was dead easy. We've done that many times before. And then we need to set up a for loop. Well, if you've got this far, you should hopefully already know that we go for I in range, and then we need to consider our range. Where do we need to start? Well, by default it starts at 0, but the first thing we're going to want to do is 1 times the user's number. So I'm going to start at position 1. Where am I going to want to go to? Well, I'm going to want to go down to 12. But as we know, it's always less than, so my answer needs to be 13. Am I going to go up in ones? Yes, I am, so I don't need to add any more. So that's my for loop set up. Now what I need to do is consider what will my output need to look like. So I need an output, so I'm going to say print, and I want it to say, let's assume that the user's put in 2. I need it to say 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So this is clearly going to be I, because it's counting up. So the first thing I'm going to do is say I. Then I'm going to put a comma because I finished with my variable and I want to type a string. What's my string going to look like? Well, the next thing I need is simply times. Okay. Now I don't know what number they're going to enter, so I can't just put in there times 2, because if they typed in 7, that would be wrong. So I'm going to leave that as x. Then I'm going to put another comma, and how do I know what they entered? How can I put the number that they entered on the screen? Well, I need to look for the variable where it's stored, and it's stored in num. So x and then num. So I've now got 1 times, for example, 2. Now I'm going to need the equal sign. So again, need a comma, finish with my variable. Now I'm going back to a string, so comma, equals, comma, and now I need my answer. So how do I get my answer? Well, I simply do some maths and I say I times num, because whatever I times num is the answer to my times table. So I can close that bracket. So we've got, for example, on the first iteration of the loop, 1 times 2 equals 2, because 1 times 2 equals 2, 2 times 2 equals 4, and so on. Let's run it. Let's see if that works. Please enter the times table you wish to see. Well, I wish to see the 2 times table, and there we go. Let's try something a little more complicated, the 45 times table, and that works too. So that is task 21, extension task 1 done. Thanks for watching.